2024 year ahead reading. Okay, place your hand on your heart, tune in, and ask, what is the most important things that you know for each upcoming month as we move through 2024? Okay, so we're tuning in and we're asking about January, February, March, April, May, June. Make sure these can all be seen. July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, so we're going to tune in and we're going to flip them all over and we'll see what is what for each month ahead to give you a little bit of insight, more than anything else, to start the dialogue and tune in to what specifically might affect you with that month. It'll be a little different for each person. You'll hear something slightly different as we go through the reading. So first thing that pops into your mind, be aware of. In January, it's a time for leaving behind the things that are no longer serving you and heading to the horizon. Head towards the light, the things that inspire you and light you up. Something is ready to be released. Why? Because as you move into February, it's all about growing something. You're entering a new cycle, and it's something that you've already had on your mind, and you may have invested some time, energy, money, resources into it. It's in a gestational cycle. It's going to take time to manifest, to become a reality. So you're continuing to nurture that, and when you have more space, you'll be able to have room to feed this dream, because come March, it's going to be all systems go. There's a sense of urgency. Go for it. Let's just do it. You are encouraged to look before you leap in March and plan. That's what this time is for in February. Make those plans, set those systems in place so that when the energy is all systems go, you're ready. Because then as we move into April, it is about balance. You may have really extended a lot of energy and exertion in March. So this is a time to check back in. Is the energetic exchange equal, balanced, harmonious? This really has to do with the physical. Money. Are you spending too much? Are you exchanging services for something that's not your value? Tune in and really take time to look at the details when it comes to your financial and physical resources, because that May energy, January, February, March, April, May, May energy is saying don't cheat yourself, because if you try to cheat yourself and do all the things by yourself, or try to burn the candle at all the ends, or not sleep at night because you're trying to get so many things done, it's going to catch up with you. This can also signify somebody trying to pull a fast one on you. So you want to be aware. If you take the time to do the work in January, February, March, April, and check your books and check your statements, then you'll be in a good place, because you'll be able to say, I am exchanging my energy and my efforts in divine right harmony. It's not out of balance. Then as we get into June, January, February, March, April, May, June. Want to make sure I stay in track. June's energy is about insights, downloads of information. It's a time that would be great to take away, retreat, or some extra space for meditation. It's an absolute incredible opportunity for you to engage with divinity, source, to be inspired. And from that inspiration, it enables you to move into this space where maybe you had been focusing on the things that you didn't have, those empty bowls, thinking the grass was greener somewhere else, and not realizing and recognizing the gold at your very fingertips. There are opportunities right underneath your nose. So if you take that time in the previous month to meditate, to tune in to the insights, not to let the mind run rampant, because if this card isn't engaged in a high frequency, what that ends up turning into is just a chatter of thoughts, like monkey mind, from one subject to the next. We're racing, we're going, we're not able to think straight. It's a distraction. Do this, wait, do that. But a meditative practice is very grounding, and it can help you sort through the inspiration, what really is divinely inspired and what's simply just noise or distraction. I just want to say, remember, meditation does not have to be seated in lotus. It could be a moving meditation, a writing meditation. It might be a focused meditation, lots of different ways to meditate. When you have that behind you, that connection to source, you'll be less likely to kind of focus on the things that you don't have, or be looking outside yourself feeling like, oh, I'm missing out, you'll be able to focus inward and discover you have everything you need right at your fingertips. And again, that moment to really take the time to meditate and tune in also helps you here, because as we move into this energy, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, it's that energy of Five of Swords. That's the midway point. He's got a lot of thoughts moving through his head. He's been inspired. He's got all these great ideas, but what is he going to do with them? It's important to know that he definitely can win. He can definitely achieve success, but at what cost? So it's saying take some time right now, again, to sort through all the details. Let go of the distractions. It's not about winning at any cost. That old saying, better to lose the battle and win the war kind of idea. You're not fighting anything. You don't want your energy to be drained. It's saying give yourself some time to create a container for your ideas, ground, so that you can channel these ideas, these inspirations, these thoughts into something that makes change, that you find effective. Because then when you move into the next month, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, you are in the King of Swords energy, which is so exciting because King of Swords is all about the visionary, the CEO energy. He's not overrun or overruled by emotions, but he's thinking ahead about the big picture, the larger direction of what's going on. He has his winged friends nearby bringing him insight and details and information, but they're not driving him bonkers like the birds were here, where they're chatting in his ear, like, oh, and what about this? This is kind of like the gossip where we get hung up in what's so-and-so doing, and oh, what's happening over there? And what about this? We throw ourselves kind of in comparison, I'll say, with others. And that would have been experiencing the lower frequency of this, like, oh, I wish I was out there playing with them too. I wish I could do what they do, have what they have, when you really have access to it all along. It's just about shifting your perspective, looking left instead of right. It's saying, don't let all this information coming in drive you crazy. Channel it, that light, so that you can do something positive with it. Because when you do that, you step in and claim your power. The bird is not making him go crazy now. The bird represents ideas, thoughts, the realm of air. Instead, the bird is wise, sharing this wisdom with the king, saying, oh, this is important as you make your plans, that you know about this for the future. They represent the intuition, again, in a very logical state, not thrown by chit chat and distraction or gossip, but focused on the facts, so that they can, like the wise owl, be able to see with clarity and make those larger decisions in full confidence. And when you do that, it leads to a joyfulness, again, that connection to source. So when do we move into a space of worry or frustration or monkey mind? He's not exactly connected to source in this. Source is kind of a side thought. Whereas this beautiful figure, that divine source energy, which the sun represents, is coming right to her. And again, in this image, you see the light, where the source, we're connected to absolute light, divinity, inspiration. So when you move into that space of saying, okay, I'm not going to let the distractions, the gossip, the chit chat, the FOMO get to me. I'm going to tune in and I'm going to see what's not worth fighting for. Where am I exhausting my energy and my efforts? I'm going to move out of the comparison FOMO game, and I'm going to claim my power and step in as visionary. And when you do that, you access this joyfulness. This is one of the happiest cards of the deck. It's full of joy and love and exuberance and dance. So come, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Great time for the sun. Come October, there's going to be a playfulness, a lightheartedness, a feeling like you are in alignment, that you've got that flow. Now, one thing to remember is that with the sun card, sometimes we can have so much fun that we check out of certain responsibilities, or maybe we forget about what comes to mind is like when people first start dating someone and they just become so enamored and they love spending all their time with their significant other, but they forget their friends and they forget their family. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a second, where did they go? And we realize that we've been the ones missing. So in that joyful exuberance, just staying connected with family and friends, because as we move into the November energy, it can feel a little bit like, like we've had such a high with that sun energy. And then it's like, oh my gosh, wait a second. I feel like I'm outside of the picture. This card, the Five of Pentacles, can sometimes feel like we don't belong, like we're not invited to the party. We're on the outside looking in. Sometimes it can represent a moment where we feel like we're financially lacking. That's where the benefit of taking the time in, this is April, January, February, March, April. Yeah, in April, really looking at your budget and balancing. This is for time, energy, and money. Pentacles represents the physical. Really take time to balance it so that you don't feel cheated or you don't feel like, somebody's trying to pull a fast one on you, so that by the time you get to November, what you realize is you have friends in high places. So anytime you feel like you're missing or you're lacking, then you can simply access the key. It's right there to open the door. It's been there all along. And the traditional deck has an angel in stained glass that I love. And the figures, there's two in the traditional deck, their heads are down and they're not looking up. They're not seeing the angel. This is encouraging you. Look up, see your angel. The key is right there. You can enter into community, group, connection, anytime you choose. The key is in your hand. So you're being encouraged. If you're feeling left out, if you're feeling forgotten, like you want to be invited to the party, it's up to you to look up, access the key, and walk through the door because it's there for you. And when you do that, it's the How Good Can You Stand It card of December. December, the star energy is highly intuitive. It's dream big. It's that idea of looking up in the sky, and there are so many stars in the heavens above. It's like, oh my goodness, how in the world could this get even brighter and more brilliant? I can't count the number of stars in the sky when I look up. And that's the idea of this. Highly intuitive. There's so many dreams and opportunities coming your way. It's a matter of simply opening up to your intuitive gifts. All right, year ahead for 2024, and I am being encouraged to go a little bit deeper with this and pull some additional angel cards to give us some extra insight on the wonderful Light Seer deck that I've been using. And this is an old deck of messages from angels, one of my favorite decks. A little bit trickier to get these days, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just knock 3 times on the cards. And we're going to just ask for some extra insight from the angels when it comes to each of these months. So for January, what's most important that we know? Adriana. So when you look at this card, you see that your angels are leading you towards the answers that you've been searching for. It's saying, pay attention to the signs. You are being guided through your thoughts and your dreams. So anything that you've been called, walk away from. It's time to let go. You probably have already been receiving some kind of intuitive hit or guidance. Then into February, this guy's calling my attention. Isaiah. And so, oh my gosh, I love this. It's a good time to give birth to your new ideas and situations in your life. I'm watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you. So Isaiah is an angel that is with mothers. And it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be physically expecting or pregnant. How cool is that? See how the cards line up? But it means, anytime we have an idea or a project, it could be for the house. We want to paint a room, redo it, redo the floor. We want to launch a program. We want to go for a new job, new idea. That's us being pregnant with possibilities. And you have a guardian angel watching over you and helping you in this period nourish your dreams and protect you as these changes are coming in. I love it. So then into March, what do the angels have to say when it comes to supporting you? Astara. So you deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires and don't compromise. So when you think of it with the Knight of Swords, that feeling of go for it, you have your angels supporting you saying, dream big, go for your goals. Now's the time. Reach out. We're assisting and supporting you as you feel this urgency to go. Don't compromise, go. Then as we get into April and that balancing energy, we're going to just see who pops up here. Isabella. So yes, the timing's right. Happy outcome following your positive expectations. So one of the things about writing things down or looking at it is that you claim your power. It's no longer in the dark, no longer a worry. Many times, like when people are doing a physical fitness plan, they don't want to weigh themselves or do their measurements because it feels so overwhelming. But when you track those numbers, when you truly look at them, it makes a difference. And this angel, Isabella, is saying, yes, take time to track the details because it's going to lead you towards your positive expectations. It's going to be leading you towards your dreams in the long run because it's going to paint the picture of what you need to do and where you need to go. It's not just making it up in your head, but you actually have the insights and the details to go deeper. Okay, so as we move into May, what do the angels want you to know? Okay, Chantal, new romance. I love it. Thinking of May Day. So being open to giving and receiving love. And where I really see this is being compassionate with yourself, not cheating yourself, not saying, oh, I can get by on 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. I'll be fine. It's like, this is not the time where you can get away with things, where you can eat all the chocolate and lose the weight, or you can spend all the money and save. This is saying, love yourself. Be open to receiving that love, be compassionate, and therefore you won't feel yourself at the end feeling exhausted, depleted, or even cheated. Okay, moving into June. What do your angels want you to know about June's energy? Teresa, oh, I love that. Time out. So busy, running in circles, taking care of everyone else. And that goes along with the ideas of that meditative retreat, stepping away for some insights and downloads. And what this really reminds me of, and there's that little bird again, if you can see. And the cool thing about this is that the bird is flying away up to the heavens, not distracting her and chit-chatting in her ear, driving her crazy like this little guy. But it's divine inspiration coming in and thoughts and ideas being shared with the world eventually. But in order to receive the insights and the downloads, to have that clarity of thought, time away is important, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. And the angel Teresa is helping encourage you to make that space and to help you find the time to take a moment of respite and to tune in to that divine inspiration. Okay, moving into July. What do your angels want you to know about July? We're going to see who pops out. And so I just kind of look for the card that's calling my attention. Omega, I love it. Victory. So your desire is coming to fruition. Okay, so when you look at that in comparison or in connection with the 4 of Cups, the rainbow, right? The rainbow can signify a wish or promise that has been made to answered prayers. And many people talk about finding the pot of gold right at the end of the rainbow. And I love that the hand is right there offering it. So the idea of keeping up the good work. Sometimes we don't realize how close we are to victory. We don't realize how close we are to that pot of gold because our eye is not on the prize, so to speak. It's focusing on everyone else externally. What are they doing? What's going on? What am I missing? What should I be doing? What could I be doing? When it's saying, wait a second, look right underneath your nose. There are so many opportunities. Victory is at hand. Celebration, success, reward. If you pay attention to what's going on right here within your own world, not outside yourself. Okay, moving into August. And as we move into August, just tuning in and ask, oh, he looked like he was popping up. Tuning in and asking what's most important to know. Zaina, so you're protected from all types of harm. Relax and feel safe. Oops. And many times when we have that mental chit chat, what ends up happening is that we don't feel safe. We move into anxiety and distress because the mind keeps going like a broken record over and over and over. So this is saying, take a moment to realize that you are safe. This beautiful angel, Zana, is stepping in to offer you that protection and guidance. So whether it's having a system in place to help release anxiety, like meditation, or walking, moving meditation, or connecting with your angels, like the beautiful guardian angel prayer, angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here, ever this day be at my side, to light, to guard, to rule and guide. Something as simple as that, or even just writing your thoughts down before you go to bed at night and asking your angels to keep it for safekeeping. will give you the peace so that you can rest, so that you can reconnect to source. Because it's just saying, watch out in August that you don't let the stresses and the worries of the world disconnect you from your angels, from source energy. And then as we move into September, we're going to just see who's popping up for September. Bum, bum, bum. Oh. What angel is coming through for September for you? Okay. Serena, the angel of abundance. You receive the money that you need and God is in charge of how that will happen. Have faith. So again, this is you being reconnected to source, and being reconnected to source. The birds are bringing the wisdom and the information rather than causing a distraction sitting on the shoulder. It's an opportunity for you. I love how her feathers, her wings are catching my eyes here. It's that feeling of, a king has advisors, and the beautiful winged friends act as advisors as well. Too often, when we try to do everything by ourselves, this card would be, I'm trying to do it all by myself. This card would be, okay, I can make it work no matter what, and I can rob Peter to pay Paul. Do you remember that old expression? I can sleep 4 hours and still feel energized enough to do it. What ends up happening is that we're trying to do it all by ourselves. And when we're manifesting, it's a co-creation. And a good, wise king or queen understands that it's good to take in information and advice from trusted resources to connect with that divine guidance in order to make your decisions. So have faith in July. And then, or September rather, July too. As we move into October, the angel that is really speaking the loudest, this one comes up, Francesca. So Francesca, what do you desire right now? Visualize it and will come about. Negativity will block your process. Well, this is definitely a happy card. And it's saying tune into that happiness and that abundance. So that abundance that flows freely in September, take time to rejoice and enjoy it come October. Really watching your thoughts so that it doesn't go into Debbie Downer, but staying positive, uplifted, and bright. Then as you move into November's energy, the angel that is really working with you for November, Fiona, the angels have heard your questions, your prayers for help. Be open to receiving that divine guidance. So, this is that one where I said in the traditional deck, the angel's right above you. Again, I love how these cards are so synchronistic and how they divinely tie into each other. Your prayers are being heard, because sometimes the Five of Pentacles, it can feel like, I keep praying, my prayers aren't being answered. What's happening? It's like the prayers are being answered. But again, there's this bit of disconnect. The light's coming down, but she's still in shadow. She can't see that the availability, the possibility to join is right there. So remember, come November, to connect with your angels, to know that your prayers are being answered. Simply open your heart and lift your head to see the answers and the breadcrumbs all around. And then as we go into December, which angel is engaging and working with you? Aurora. So you're flying high right now. So when you were flying high like this and you're feeling so excited, love the beautiful purples. The thing that really strikes me here is the way her throat is so open as she's soaring through the sky, and the way her throat is also so very open. And when you have an open throat, it is one way that we channel and we receive divine guidance through the back of the throat, through the back of the heart. Both throats and hearts are very open here. Her arms are back, creating this winged-like energy as she flies forward. So there is that feeling of flying high, of being connected to potential and possibility. The universe is the limit, so to speak. Not even the sky is the limit. How good can you stand it? How big can you dream? But it's also saying at the same time, make sure you remain grounded, aware of your surroundings, because sometimes when we're so open intuitively and we're not grounded, we can exhaust ourselves, or we can become susceptible to just forgetting the physical world around us. Many times when people really, looking at like a spiritual practice, they might decide to really go down that path, and they go away to like the Himalayan caves and like, I'm going to renounce, the physical world. I'm not going to worry about paying the mortgage or washing my clothes or maybe even bathing, because they're connecting to the spiritual realm. This is saying, remember the physical world. Remember take a bath or shower, pay your bills, stay grounded. So we're still rooted in the physical world. I want to say that rather than reality. It's just that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So it's important that we tend to the human side just as much as we tend to the spiritual. Okay, so that's the reading for the year. If you're looking for a more personalized layout for yourself, then click on the link around this video. I love doing this for my clients and for my students to give them some extra insight specifically for them as to what to expect with the year ahead. All right, much love. Catch you on the flip side.